I just have to let the birds, you hear the birds? Good morning, everyone that's here on the West. Welcome to Coast to Coast. It's afternoon on the East. I'm Cari Champion, David Lloyd, enjoying some much-needed time off. So now we will begin in Los Angeles. Chris Paul, Blake Griffin notified the Clippers they will not pick up their player options next year. You've heard about that. Meanwhile, the Clippers bring in the logo to make it better. But check this out. There are far more questions than answers about the Clippers now that we've got this news. Kevin Durant is an NBA champion. You all know that. But the decision he made to leave OKC and head to Golden State will always be a hot topic. In fact, polarizing for many. Most recently, Durant and Nike released a 35-minute documentary, Still KD. That takes us behind the scenes of the decision. KD is honest with himself, the fans, and the critics. There are plenty of reasons to be optimistic if you're a Raiders fan. They had one of the NFL's top offenses last season, and now they're adding Marshawn Lynch. Beast mode. But how is Lynch gelling with the team? How is the team feeling about their move to Vegas and the expectations for this coming season? ESPN The Magazine Sam Alapore had a die-hard decision to make. He's a die-hard fan, so we gave him this tough assignment. He had to go behind the scenes with his favorite team. Favorites heading into this season. The 36-year-old Manning has a new target this season in veteran wideout Brandon Marshall. But Eli's main focus will be to get his controversial star wideout, you guys may have heard of him, Odell Beckham Jr., playing the best way he can. Just one of the topics he discussed with our Sal Palantonio. All right, David, thanks for that. Meanwhile, James Harden's record deal, part of an offseason that has seen more than $2 billion, that's with a B, $2 billion in new contracts. What does this all mean? Jemele Hill's in the house. She'll join us in just a few minutes. Or might not have been mad with one Peyton Manning. We'll talk about it when we come back. Also, it's the second part of this sit down with Kevin Durant. He gets really honest. He talks about his critics and how he makes it through the noise. Wow, that was a big statement from Chris. 4 or 5 of the best in the league. Meanwhile, let's talk about the NBA. There is still a big question in the NBA. When will Kawhi Leonard return to the Spurs lineup? Coming up, Brian Windhorst. He's sitting in the corner, a little cranky, but he has a message. But his wife, Gisele, told CBS this morning that Tom Brady had a concussion last season. Brady has never appeared on an injury report with a head injury. However, another Super Bowl winning quarterback, and Drew Brees, said he would never tell his wife if he had a concussion. Down with a serious injury. Now Romo is retired and America's team is Prescott's team. That's crazy. While adjusting to his newfound fame, Prescott has been active in supporting the Ready Raise Rise campaign, and he sat down with our Sal Palantonio to discuss his rookie season, what he wants to improve on, and where he's getting his advice from these days. All right, folks, we're now just 5 days away from one of the most anticipated fights in history, Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. Opinions and predictions have taken over the sports media world in anticipation of this mega fight. Here, Chris Conley gives us his Hollywood take on this spectacle known as Floyd versus Conor. Okay, David, thank you for that. Coming up, a rally for Colin Kaepernick being held tomorrow in New York City. We'll have Jason Reed, who says Colin Kaepernick has quickly become the face of the civil rights movement. We're back in a moment. Coaching the Cavs. I had the privilege to moderate that conversation. Take a listen. All right, David, thanks for that. Tomorrow night, we'll begin Chapter 2 of LeBron and D. Wade as teammates, right? This time, though, it's in Cleveland. The first go-around in Miami led to 4 straight NBA Finals and 2 titles. Our Rachel Nichols has more with the reunited twosome, the besties, whatever you'd like to call them, about what's true and what's false. Missing? I know this guy, right? LeBron. That's arguably the best player in the world, LeBron James. He has not won since 2013 when he was leading the Miami Heat to multiple championships. This year, with Kyrie gone and D-Wade back by his side, King James may already be the frontrunner for the MVP award. Once again, here's our Wendy. All right, so tonight, Monday Night Football in Kansas City. What's the one reason the Chiefs have lost back-to-back games? Ryan Clark, you heard from him. He'll explain in just a few moments. Take a look at this guy. George Springer just became the World Series MVP. Coming up, we tell you how he became a hero to many for much more than his play on the diamond. We're back. Choice words about NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. They don't seem to be on, good standing like me and David. Me and David are cool. Meanwhile, we come up and we'll talk about that Ezekiel Elliott suspension. That's next on Coast to Coast. All right, so coming up on Coast to Coast, I was going to do a woo, but I don't have it. I don't have it in me, folks. Maybe he does. Ric Flair joins me to talk about Nature Boy. That's the 30 for 30. You don't want to miss it. It'll be great. That's after the break.
Oh, he got out of here.
He's gone.
No, that's all right.
It happens sometimes. Why did one of Tom Brady's backups get $5,000 in $20 bills? This guy's so great, we're talking about his backups. Tom Brady's backups in a moment. As we approach the 5th anniversary of the butt fumble, that's going to be on Thanksgiving, I believe, Katie Nolan counts down to the not top plays in sports history. That's next on SportsCenter. And coming up at the top of the hour, it's Kate Fagan, Outside the Lines. David, Kevin Durant is headed back to OKC. I don't know if you heard. We talked about it several times during the show. But guess what we haven't talked about? Paul Pierce, Chauncey Billups, NBA champions on set to break down that matchup. Coming up next. So when LeBron was ejected from a game for the very first time in his 15-year career, most folks wanted to know who was that ref that dared kick out the king. Well, his name is Kane Fitzgerald, and Kane, as I like to call him, has started a national conversation. Do stars in the league get special treatment? Well, the answer is yes, of course they do. But the real question is, how often? Our Chris Conley takes a look. Here we go, folks. Philadelphia 76ers Joel Embiid was the 3rd overall pick in the 2014 NBA draft. Due to a number of injuries keeping him off the court, he's played just 52 games during his NBA career. He nicknamed himself The Process, referring to former Sixers GM and president of basketball operations Sam Hinkie's plan to revitalize the team, and is proud of the title. Ramona Shelburne sat down with Joel to discuss social media, trusting the process, and being the face of the franchise. NBA Finals MVP Candace Parker, you wear another hat. You are analyst for us now. We're going to talk some basketball. You may know a thing or two about that.
A little bit.
Okay, you know what? I want to start on the East because I feel as if the Knicks is a little bit of drama. So Derrick Rose goes missing. They find out where he is. Then he says, yeah, I want a max deal. I consider being back here. Do you see Derrick Rose having a consistent and stable future with the Knicks? Thunder start a very hard road trip, a 6-game road trip tonight in Minnesota. Talk about the mindset that he needs to have as he heads into this road trip.
Well, Westbrook, I think what we've said,
Whomever, ignoring Steph's contributions this season?
I think we are.
Why?
And, you know, I think Steph a little bit is trying to find his way. Because
here, Candace Parker of the Sparks, the Los Angeles Sparks. There's another team in town. I'll talk to you about that. There's so many teams. How would you look back at the entire season and assess what you all did?
We got better. We got, we did things that we needed to do, but when we had to step up, we didn't step up and, clinch those playoff berths. But
missing piece? Do you need something better?
No, I don't think it's a missing piece. Well, on offense, that's what, we focus on. We have great receivers, great running backs, great offensive line, great tight ends. So we have those pieces.
He deserve Andrew Luck money?
I don't know what Andrew Luck money is, but he's taking us to, where we need to be.
$100 million.
Hey, quarterbacks are making that kind of money. That's what it is. But he's definitely a good player for us.
Quarterback that you could see taking you guys all the way to.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. He's been around for a long time, going on his 5th year. He's, got that experience. He's comfortable in the building. He's comfortable with the players. And it's nothing new to where it's like a deer in the headlight. He's prepared. He's seen it all in D.C.
Okay, would you consider him one of the best?
I won't consider him one of the best yet, but he's moving forward on the verge to,
Restricted free agent. What are your plans for next season?
Play football.
I figure. Anybody in mind? You staying home? What you doing?
I want to stay home, but I'm just, waiting to get a phone call.
Okay. And are you comfortable that you will get a phone call?
Yeah, definitely think so.
Okay.
Got a lot of tape out there going into the 10th year.
Let's talk about what seems to be all of the news. Business is booming for that young man. He made a lot of money. Tell me why this was a good move for the Steelers.
Well, I mean, with their offense.
All right. They locked in another member of the Killer Bees, that be Le'Veon Bell. We just heard Jeremy Fowler talking about it. This is interesting. They didn't have the same situation that Dallas had a few years back when it was you know what I'm talking about, right? DeMarco Murray and Dez Bryant. Why is it, though, and he said it's a pass-happy league, why is it, though, that the running back isn't as valuable as the wideout payday eventually?
I do. I think I just do
Stay
process.
healthy.
It's just
Right.
do go.
What do you think will happen?
I think we're all non-committal after the season, after a loss, right?
Why, though?
Well, you know what? Because
Why not feel like I want to come? Where else would he go?
it's not that. It's what you feel physically. It's the wear and tear on your body that you deal with, Cari, that I don't think a lot of people understand. And here's a guy, Big Ben. Each and every year, we put up a a board, right? And we're saying,
get some coffee. I'm a little tired. How you feel?
I'm feeling good, but you know, I'm feeling the white. I got my Chucks on today. You got the white dress on today. We're clean today.
Writer for ESPN The Magazine and co-host of The Morning Roast. You guys have to check it out. You hold your own. You make them better. I appreciate it. So we're sitting here with the Etch-a-Sketch, and I'm telling her that I really believe this is one of the best gifts you can give people of all ages. But you've decided to take an Etch-a-Sketch and somehow illustrate the biggest storylines of the NBA playoffs. Tell us about that.
I etched Giannis because, in my mind, he is the breakout star of the playoffs. Even though his team is maybe unlikely to advance, it's been so fun to watch America learn. Like, this is the future of the NBA. I actually had a little bit of trouble getting his entire wingspan.
It's right at the very edge of the Etch-a-Sketch. All right, folks, look, let me tell you, how creative is this? You need an Etch-a-Sketch. If you haven't heard about this, you need to go and get one. Some, these millennials are like, what exactly is an Etch-a-Sketch? The best gift you can ever give someone. It is educating. Mina, how important is playoff seeding for you?
Well, if you look historically, it's very important. And even going
this summer, how's it look? How's it looking?
I think you have to live in the moment.
Yeah.
I think you have to live in the moment.
That's the right response.
And even though that there's a lot of people tampering with me, trying to get me to come to the Lakers. No, I'm just kidding. You have to live in the moment. And we knew coming
to the marketability of his first time doing First Take. Right. And we spoke after, and he knows what he's doing. So, again, that's his style. I respect it. He's confident in how he's raised his kids, that it's not going to be. What I'm saying is I don't know what Lonzo Ball is going to do on the next level. I believe in him. I believe he has that capability. But I'm just saying, you cutting a lot of checks.
I want to talk to you about the issue that whenever we see him on TV, people are like, why? He just is so much. He's doing the most. We don't like him. What is it about him that a father promoting his children, being in his kids' life, especially a black father, holding them down, why does that turn so many people off in terms of how he's going about it?
It turns people off. They can't touch you because you're a grown man with nothing to hide. Yeah. But they could go after innocent kids, all of them. I think it's for himself, too. He
cares about his kids.
Well, there's no question he loves his kids. He's their daddy, and he seems to be a great, great father.
It's refreshing to hear someone give their opinion unfiltered, Stephen A. What do you mean by that? I don't even know you that you do such a thing.
Well,
wait, I forgot to ask you. Is he wrong? Can he beat Jordan one-on-one?
Of course he's wrong. Which not
got off air, but you got to watch that split screen, y'all. Entertaining television.
He's crazy. LeVar's crazy.
Let's take you guys out in the first round, and you, of all people, know how invaluable Kawhi is to that team. What happens when you remove that player? I mean, we see the score. We see how dominant the Warriors are. We assumed the Warriors would be dominant, but not like this.
Right, and we're seeing exactly how valuable Kawhi is.
Top what he single-handedly defeats you guys. Is that correct?
Yeah, train until your idols become your rivals. And,
I'm liking everything you're saying right now, Max. I'm liking everything you're saying right now. So he's your rival.
Yeah, he's my rival now. We June 3rd.
Court advantage, if you will.
No, not at all. At the end of the day, it's only me and him and a ref in there. No one can stop now. We got some great things up my sleeve.
As I was doing the research we talked about earlier, I didn't know you were a comedian. You most recently opened for Chris Rock. Tell me a little about that.
What's funny is I've been doing stand-up since 2006.
Wow.
Comedian, so it's talking about what it's like having these immigrant kind of like desires put on you, but then you're an American and you have the freedoms that America offers. Like, who would have thought being a comedian could be lucrative and then lead to...
If they can add some athleticism, that would be great. But I don't think they need to go back to the drawing board.
What does that
Who does that look like?
Yeah.
Is the guy that's got to answer that. If he gets a contract.
All right.
What's his deal?
All what ifs, guys. I am told we have to wrap. Thank you so much, seriously.
That was fast.
I know, but you just literally got off a plane. The Lakers consider taking somebody besides Lonzo Ball. I'm tired of the talk, but we'll have someone join us. His name is Jay Williams. He gives his opinion on perhaps who they should take outside of Ball. That's on Coast to Coast next. I'm sitting. What do you think of it? Sports fan, and I'm not kidding folks at home. He grew up in North Dakota. He played quarterback at Minot State University. So this is a big deal.
Go Beavers!
Like, there are like 10 people at home like, yes.
Exactly.
So you were a quarterback and, from my understanding, a Hall of Famer. Tell us about your quarterback career.
Well, I mean, Hall of Famers, yeah, of course I did. I got to see all my old boys from back in the day.
Some type of ring, some type of paraphernalia?
I got a T-shirt.
Oh, franchise know to go check it out. When is it in theaters? Give it to me again, my plug.
It's in theaters now.
All right.
It's in theaters right now.
So are you also playing any football now? Can they check you out somewhere doing that?
Nobody needs to see me playing any football.
We're done with that.
No, I mean, I'll pull something or tear something, pop something or break something.
What ifs? in the
Me
possibilities.
too, the hypotheticals.
The hypotheticals.
Hypotheticals.
I don't see him coming to LA. That would be LeBron, but you never know. I mean,
I didn't
2
see him
plus
shaving
2.
his head bald, but there you go.
Yeah,
now look
hello.
at him. Now look at him.
Bald. Hello. We will switch to some football. I wanted to get your take on this because I've listened to the show and I know you guys have talked about activism in sports, if you will.
Of course.
Last night I had the opportunity to present at the BET Awards.
I saw it.
And I actually
except you'd probably have to give up compensation. And if you're the Knicks, you're trying to rebuild, giving up picks to get a general manager. That's not.
It's a lot of GMs that feel like they don't have to speak to people or they're
Photographic memory when it comes to players, prospects all over the world. This guy it's like a computer, his brain. But second of all, what Stack said. He's a likable guy. He's a guy that gets along.
I noticed Cavs are outside of the top 5. In your opinion, does that tell you something about the Cavs or that power index is just off?
That tells me that the power ends a person.
All right. Meanwhile, in between time, you want to come back and hang out maybe when you're in LA? He has nothing but great things to say about you, obviously. And he most recently said of Frank Mason, the NBA's missing the boat on you. You've won just about every award at the college level. You had an awesome tournament. What are your intangibles that you think you possess that, quite frankly, aren't translating that the NBA doesn't see?
I think
it's not Wendy's.
Yeah, it's not close to Wendy's,
but you'll take the Wendy's.
Yeah, I'll take Wendy's.
Okay. Now I know it's early. I'm just wondering if you want to get up a little bit. You're tired. How do you feel right now?
I feel pretty good.
Funny, and he's like, yeah, I'm tired. I don't have time for this. You've been traveling a lot, and then you have a great showing. You guys didn't make it to where you wanted to and win it all. What happened?
Oregon was the better team that night. I think they did a great job. Their coaches did a great job.
You've watched the catch. I know you really, truly have experienced that several times. But so as we're reading.
What catch?
The catch that.
Oh, yeah.
You did? Don't say what. I'm going home. Bye. You trying to be humble? You just being humble?
No,
Kendrick?
just
shout out to
being
Kendrick.
smart.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so they say you do all kinds of crazy drills to prepare for catches, if you will. What are your crazy drills?
I mean, I don't know if they're crazy. I do these tennis ball drills where I have a guy behind me and he'll throw tennis balls different.
The novice, the red with the right hand, you say?
I'll have like a pink tennis ball, a red tennis ball, a green tennis ball. I have some lacrosse balls in there, so you get different kind of bounces off the wall.
Is that common? A lot of wideouts do that, or is that something that you've created?
I don't know if a lot of wideouts do it. I've been doing it for, probably 6 years now.
And something about rice, I was told too. What's going on with the rice?
I mean, you dig your hands in rice. You do a bunch of drills, kind of strengthen your hands.
Okay. I'm gonna do that when I get home. So just get some rice, and it just makes your hands strong.
It'll help with,
All because I'm thinking that's because of the catch, right? All that helped with the catch. Your whole host just stayed on it.
So, subconsciously it probably did. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, the more you prepare yourself.
Article, which is in the body issue, as we call it. You say you have a chip on your shoulder. Why is that?
I've never gone the easy way. I was thinking of all the close games that we had to come back.
When you said it, I could tell you absolutely believed it. A lot of people, fans, probably would have already been like, it's a wrap. There's just tell me about, in terms of Super Bowl 49-51, which one was more sweet, if you can compare?
Like children. Once again, it's my children metaphor. You say, but hopefully the next one will be better.
No, talk about it. Confidence. Speaking of the next one, ladies, if you're at home, I don't know about the fellas, the moment you've been waiting for. He's one of 10 athletes featured on the Dance with You and Brady. I wish I could. I documented on Instagram. I follow you guys closely.
Yeah.
He's in Asia having a good time.
I think he's back.
Yeah, because he does some crazy things.
You know what? Well, considering the thing is right now he's competing to like full length. Like
really?
Afterwards, like he's probably like, I really think I could have got him. I really think I could have got him. And you're sitting there looking at him like, come on, bro.
Everything.
You can't.
Oh my God. Juliet Edelman, thank you so much. You are such a pleasure. Congratulations. The Body Issue on stands July 7th. Enjoy the rest of your time off or your off season. What could happen? What's the possible scenario?
Look, this is the gigantic elephant in the room, which is that
And where do you see him going if he did not sign the extension?
LA, of course, coming home.
Clippers or Lakers?
Lakers.
Camp, you guys know this. Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald has yet to show up. Alden, you say this has always been complicated. So break down the situation and why has it always been complicated?
Because Aaron Donald is still so young in his career, Cari. You got to remember about what he can mean because they haven't had that guy. The other day, we're in practice. They're doing 11 on 11 drills. First play of 11 on 11 drills, Sammy Watkins runs a decleat.
Yeah.
They're going to give him the whole year.
All right. So much to discuss. Preseason, folks. We got to the season. All right. Alden Gonzalez, thank you so much for joining us here on SportsCenter Coast to Coast. David, over to you. All right. So for more on Cutler and the Dolphins, we welcome in the coach. You guys know that. Herm Edwards and Jeff Darlington. Jeff, I'll start with you. I said 10 million reasons why, but from my understanding, all the different reports suggest that he was wavering. He had to be talked back into this. What made him finally decide, yeah, okay, I'll go play?
Well, you are right. From the standpoint that if it was not Jay Cutler.
I don't know if you guys know this. There's a race. We're talking about it. You beat him in one race already. You're here. He's not.
He's late.
He's late. Is that going to be indicative of Saturday when the big race begins?
He might not show up.
He might not show up. Where is Marcellus Wiley? When we come back, we should have both of them. Hopefully.
He didn't show up in a lot of those games he played in either.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I'm just here to do my job.
I'm just saying.
TV, boy. That button about to, hey, everybody, the cameraman, back up. That button about to come get you, brother. Come on, man.
The race is tomorrow.
It can be right now if he ready.
You guys ready? You want to do it right now before we go to break?
Man, look at this dude. He ain't ready tomorrow.
I am the race starter tomorrow, so I'll be there.
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready for this.
All right, you guys.
I can't wait to shock the world.
We'll have full coverage on Monday. These two are the best.
Can't wait.
Obviously, it's media day, so you guys will hang out with me for a couple of hours.
Then go see your Lakers.
We'll hang out a couple of hours, though, right? All right, so, Mark, I'll start with you first. Isaiah coming back end of 2017. What does that say to you? How does that position this team? Well, we're under the impression that IT would come back for some time, and now that we're hearing he's coming back.
Yeah, we thought after the All-Star break.
After the All-Star break. Right. So now that we're hearing sooner rather than later, does that position them to be, I don't know, perhaps more of a threat to the Warriors?
I think the important thing for this.
When we have media day, right? And I think a lot of the questions, obviously we'll talk about what happened this weekend, but I think that something that's been missing and that we haven't really discussed, a person who's also been in the midst of these conversations is one Carmelo Anthony. Did we lose focus? Did we forget all about him? Right. Did we forget? Tell me about the two teams and who will be on them.
Well, the Atlanta Airs is owned by Tiny, so all these teams are owned by Select.
Wait, so tell me who's participating in the co-ed
it's a lot of big names. I'm just telling you.
You said Brittany Griner. I'm excited to see that.
She might just be on the sideline chilling or something, but we got there's a lot
turnout. At the end of the day, what do you hope you will accomplish with this new league?
I want to show how competitive women.
Is he in a movie now?
Yeah, he got movies.
Good. Okay, good for him. I love that you support him 100%. But we're here, speaking of support, you're doing something that I think is interesting. And Karan Butler, one of my favorites, we love him here. He's helping you do this, and you're announcing it on our air. You have created a new basketball league.
Yes.
Tell us about it and its purpose.
It's called Global Mixed Gender Basketball, and it's
Masterpiece, Karan Butler, I'm excited for you guys. I, first of all, want to thank you, especially showing that there is equality out there. And I love that you're going to be there and participate. Again, folks need to go to Global
Mixed Gender Basketball.
Global Mixed Gender Basketball.
And come to the game tomorrow if you want to witness history close up in person.
Hey, Duncan, maybe I'll get out there. Sure.
We need
We're the first in the draft. Cari Champion.
Queen Cari.
Queen Cari. Okay.
Queen Cari.
I'm ready.
She got the New Orleans Gators jersey.
I'm ready. I'm done. I'm going out. I'm going to the game.
She got the first jersey. We ready. It's over.
Is it accurate? I mean, it's fair, right?
He is the coach, the champ, and your friend.
And my dear friend. None of those things. Multi. So let's talk about the Cavs in this offseason. They are deep. So what do they need to do? What are we looking for during this preseason to determine how they will play when the schedule begins?
Okay, Cari, so the last 3 years, the Cavs have built a team with total shooting. Like, it's LeBron and 4 shooters.
Sure. A lot of players that you have who are used to being all-star, MVP and one. How do you massage all of their egos and make sure everyone feels like they're getting enough time?
Well, that's going to be the toughest part for Ty Lue is the fact that, you know, you have all these.
That's how real it is.
A woman in television trying to make it in her personal and professional life, I can definitely relate to that. I think that you've always been very honest with who you are. You're your authentic self. You grow to that.
Yeah.
The book,
like the nickname, like
Cheeto, is short for something else.
We're just going to call him the middle one. That is very talented.
Okay.
That doesn't get enough love. That we can't even know. We don't know the boy's name.
Okay.
Jello. Jello, is he here? Is he going to walk out? Are you going to surprise me with Jello?
I wish he would. He goes to UCLA. Hi, former Bruin.
Yes,
so we have to talk about that. A clap. Meanwhile, can we talk about this? Last night, I approached you.
Now we both look mildly uncoordinated. God bless us. Look at us go.
Mildly uncoordinated.
Mildly
But we're still accomplished. And you were still accomplished. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. This is for anybody, not just for women. We're going to need more wine. Check it out. You're on a book tour. You're traveling around the world, if not the country, because that's what I am sending in the world for that success. Gabby Union.
Thanks, Mom.
Love you.
Love you too.
So joined now by George Sedano, and they want me to add the fact that you do a morning show here in LA with Keyshawn and LZ. We know that. It's a great morning show.
Thank you.
I want to get to...
You've been on it.
Yeah. I just want to talk about what we came to talk about.
Yeah, you are not happy.
So talk to me about this last night, and I'm listening to different takes on how people perceived, Dodgers up 4-0, Kershaw on the mound. Allegedly, that's supposed to be it. We are supposed to win. The Dodgers are supposed to win. How bad, or do you think last night's performance, his performance specifically, affected his legacy in the postseason?
I'm not saying this.
I'm not trying to diminish his entire resume, but this is when it counts, no?
Well, game one didn't count?
Of course, but here we are, 3 games to 1.
Series would be over without game
And
one.
what do you think about his performance last night?
He had a bad performance.
Okay.
There's no denying that. But the legacy conversation is the issue that I have.
How do you think last night he managed his relievers?
He's managed his relievers. He stayed true to his form. He's managed them this way the whole time. If you look at it, Dave Roberts is a numbers guy. As the Sixers would say, he's trusting his process.
Okay.
But that does have some ramifications.
Absolutely.
Because what we've seen now is the bullpen is taxed, like Buster talked about for both teams, for that matter.
Yeah.
But specifically the Dodgers.
See that I forgot my.
Yeah, you forgot. I will get you
work
one.
on that.
The great Marley Rivera joins me now here on Coast to Coast. We're talking Game 6. God, stress. Let's go over Game 5. How'd you feel about that? Emotions?
I think it's one of the greatest games of all time. A lot of people are comparing
by the offense. What's been the key for this Astros team?
I think it's almost rediscovering who they are, Cari. This is the team that was the top offense. I think, we have to be careful. I don't know that it's a manager mistake. We also have to remember that these players are going to really deep into the season, right? They already played 162. That difficult.
You could see it.
One of the great things about Kenley Jansen, and he learned that from watching Mariano Rivera, you have to turn the page very quickly because the most important game is the next.
All right. They're telling me we got to close. I hate to do that with you. Game 7, will there be one?
I believe so.
All right.
Yes, I think so. And yes, Yale Puig said it. So I think
we were playing hooky, but that's okay. It has nothing to do with anything. Jessica Mendoza,
He's
Pedro
a big
Gomez
truant.
here. Hey, I know,
David's
right?
a big truant.
Okay, so I thought that was interesting. So 1995, the city's last pro sports title. That was obviously, and you pointed that out with the Rockets, Hakeem the Dream. They get their first, I'm talking about the Astros, title in franchise history. I'll start with you first, Pedro. How did they build this team to get to this point?
By losing.
Too, because when you look and you think about where baseball's at right now in the day and age of a ton of strikeouts, where bullpens reign king, if you look at this Astros team and how they were built, I mean.
It hurts. So, Jess, I'll start with you first. What went wrong?
I think you, Darvish, when you talk about, not that it's all on him, but when you.
That's Reggie Bush, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Coast.
Thank you.
Sam Darnold, any good?
Amazing.
Amazing. We'll discuss that after
One
the
word.
break. I have a Trojan here, guys. Coast to Coast in a moment. He's here, Super Bowl winner, national champion, running back supreme. I added that. Reggie Bush joins me now here on Coast to Coast. Thank you so much for joining us. No, you're more than welcome. Look, okay, so I got to get this off my chest.
Yeah.
There's some rumors out there. There's some confirmation, not confirmation. Are you retired? Are you an analyst? What are we doing?
I am not retired.
Of great quarterbacks.
A handful.
A handful.
Not a handful.
All right, so and
so
that's
a handful of teams. If they call, then
Reggie's available.
I'm available.
All right, so let's start right there. You put your analyst hat on, so we'll ask you some questions because one of the hot topics, speaking of running backs, is Zeke Elliott. He will play this weekend, the back and the forth and the back. What's your take on everything that has been happening with this fight in that franchise?
I mean, it's just an emotional.
At halftime, week 1. So if he wasn't the answer then, why would you think he would be the answer now? I ask you this. Do you see a situation where somebody like Colin Kaepernick would come in and play for that team? Could you see that? And be as kind to you? We play you all. We as in UCLA play you all November 18th. Should we make that's happening. Should we make a friendly wager? Who's winning?
That's a guaranteed win. I'm guaranteeing victory right now. On ESPN, you heard it first. I'm guaranteeing.
Reggie Bush, ladies and gentlemen, on Coast to Coast. And I guess you're going to stick around and judge top 5.
Stick around for a little bit, yeah.
All right, David, back to you. The show has just been upgraded, okay? I got big time in the house. 2 NBA champions, of course, our colleagues from NBA Countdown, Chauncey Billups, Paul Pierce. We're talking Westbrook and Durant. Thank you guys so much for being here. I apprate it.
Good to be here.
So you dressed up for the occasion.
And I woke up like this.
Well, you look great. Okay.
Like
So let's talk about the Thunder. Chauncey, I'll start with you first. 7-9. What's going on with this trio? You got Carmelo. You got your guy PG, and then they can't click? I don't understand.
Yeah, they're having a tough time. And
Need to do a better job making decisions. Are they playing hero ball? We had Stephen A. on earlier saying that was one of the problems.
well, that is one of the problems. I mean, Russ is, his greatest strength.
They coming out of the East. They beat the Cavs. You ready to make that prediction? I think you have
I
already.
said, at the beginning of the year, I just said, maybe the Cavs have a little more experience. They've been there before.
Yeah, that's a good point, Kat. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing there.
For more on LeVar and the meeting, it was interesting what he told our colleague Harvey, simply that what we, the media, tries to do is change things around.
Yep.
Talk to me about this meeting. When did it happen? When did it take place? And what was the end result?
Yeah, it happened at the end of November. And it was because it happened, and I thought it was newsworthy and important because this was the Lakers and Magic Johnson essentially calling him into the principal's office saying, here's what we need from you.
Okay, but here's what's interesting. Last night, people will say we saw a different type of Lonzo on the court. And maybe there is some method to his madness in terms of his father's been the only one coaching him. We'll get to that because some people disagree. Earlier, I don't know if you guys heard this, Golic and Wingo, Charles Barkley was on the show. This is what he had to say about LeVar, and I'll get your take afterwards. He has become a news figure.
That's right. And I think the comparison to the Kardashian family is probably the apt one. And that's the one that sprung to mind at first. And, you could say the same thing about Kris Kardashian, right? Like she's exploiting her children, where you want to say. But she also loves her children. And the question is, do you know where the line is? And I think recently he's crossed it.
I'm listening to you say that. It's also managing the business.
That's right.
Family and business, the family business. But so much to talk about. A great article you had the other day on being trolled on Joelle Embiid. I want to give you a shout out for that.
Thanks,
we
Karen.
appreciate you, and a good job as usual. That's our Ramona Shelburne joining us here on Coast to Coast, all the way from LA. Joined by Carlos Boozer, who officially announced his retirement yesterday. Is that okay? So that is correct.
Yeah, officially retired from playing the game of basketball.
Well, congratulations. What do you plan to do?
I play with my kids. No, I broadcast. Be here with you more often.
Okay, all right. Plug, bosses, y'all listening? Okay, so that's good. Congratulations. You had a wonderful career. Let's talk specifically about Kobe. You were there last night. We talked about that during the commercial break. You also played against Kobe, and you played with him.
Yeah.
So when you think about his legacy, you think about what he's meant to the game. Tell me some of your thoughts.
Kobe.
Obviously, bring it to folks here on ESPN. But let's talk about another great that you've played with. You played with LeBron in his rookie season. So LeBron tonight, we kind of make a big deal of this. The Cavs are taking on Giannis Antetokounmpo. Can you say it like that?
Antetokounmpo.
Oh, look at you. All right, then. So let's talk about it. The first, better.
Yeah. He's still the best player in the game. He's poised. He's more mature.
Yeah.
He scores whenever he needs to score. He can give you 40 points. He can get you triple doubles. He's the best player in the game.
All right. I understand. Yeah. Carlos Boozer, retirement looks well on you. Thank you for joining us. You're going to join us a little later for what we call the top 5. Okay. Perhaps you won't vote for David Lloyd. I'm doing that plug right. Game. We have none other than the infamous, if not famous, Coach. Coach Fizz, how are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. You're an LA native. You know I get excited about the Lakers, but okay, let's just focus for a moment. Let's just pause, Cari, because it's really not Lakers Street Crusher, as I say. When you look at that team, what do you think about this young talent for the Lakers?
Oh man, are they fast?
They may have lost last night, but what they've been able to do over this streak has been very impressive. With the addition of CP3, if you look in the West, obviously the goal was to compete with the Warriors. Do you see them really giving them the Warriors a run for their money?
Yeah, I do. I see them
off base, but still on base. When you have someone like CP3 and James Harden who can play the same positions, obviously, and CP3 is doing what he did.
Right.
How do you, as a coach, decide? We heard early on they really won't be on the court as much together, and when they are, they don't play that much together. How are they able to make this work so well?
I think both guys are.
Why can't they make it work with the Thunder so far?
It'll take a little time, but I'm
okay.
And that's when we made our turnaround in Miami. Was right after Christmas.
You're right. You're right. Let me not rook them. No, that don't fit here. That doesn't go.
Not yet.
Not yet. That is not the situation. Coach Fizz hanging out with us here on Coast to Coast. He'll be back later to talk more NBA. I'll send it back to you, David. We love each other. All right. We got another legend in studio. David Fizdale sitting with us. You watched you told me during the commercial break. You watched that.
Awesome.
You've been in the league. You've been around these guys. You've heard the rumors about why they weren't cool. What did you think about that when you saw them?
It was just nice to see lifelong friends,
Yeah. You said something the other day, speaking of beefs in the NBA, that I thought was interesting on the jump. You said, when asked about Marc Gasol and your time in Memphis, you said sometimes these things happen. Players and coaches just don't get along. Looking back at that situation, specifically your time in Memphis, would you have done anything differently?
I mean, obviously, you go back. Let's hope, huh?
No, I believe that. You are a player's coach, and you've had a relationship with some of the most famous players in the NBA, and they love you a lot. More specifically, LeBron and D-Wade. They were the first one trying to figure out what happened when you lost your gig.
My brothers.
Riding hard for you.
Yeah.
I need you to talk to me about LeBron specifically. He's been in the league for 15 years, and everyone's talking about, it's so funny how we do LeBron. Earlier on, they just couldn't get it together. Now we're like, look at what he's doing. He's doing so much. So what is he doing differently in his 15th year that we haven't seen him do coaching job? And I'm not saying that you're out here asking for a job, but if you had any coaching job out there, where would you like to see yourself? Where's
I want a job. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, your time has been wonderful here.
Thanks,
Thank you
Cari.
so much.
Good to see you.
I really appreciate you,
For sure.
Coach. Fizdale, we love him. Thank you. Back to you, David. And folks, that'll do it for us. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the football. I'll be back with David on Monday. Coast to Coast is off the air.